one of my last hearings that I did was, I believe, in January, okay? And this was a non-payment. The tenant hadn't paid for 8 months.
Wow.
And she kept saying, I'll pay, I'll pay, I'll pay, I'll pay. And the landlord was wonderful. She gave her every option that there is out there. She tried to offer her some type of subsidy through different programs. She called friends. She did everything that she could do to help her tenant, because she really believed that this woman, you know, sincerely wanted to pay. And she just dragged it out. And she's like, Simona, what should I do? And I said, go ahead, file an N4.
Yep.
Got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere.
And she went ahead and she did the N4 by herself. And then she waited, did the proper notice, went ahead, did the L1, waited for the hearing. I met with her. I said, okay, let's prepare for this hearing. And this tenant had been in some type of fender bender. And I said, oh, okay, well, I also do that. And I also can figure out, was she really an offender bender? And we went to the hearing, and when we got to the hearing, obviously at that point the tenant had asked for representation. I argued it until I was blue in the face because, you know, I did not want my moment to pass.
Sure.
I wanted to be heard that day. I had the pressure of my landlord sitting there saying, I need this money. I need her out.
Yeah.
At least if I'm not going to recover that 8 months for her, at least I could get rid of her. Exactly. Yeah. So we go ahead and the adjudicator says, no, we're proceeding. Sorry, too bad. And we proceed and I present the evidence and the tenant presents her evidence. Anyways, long story short, it was so obvious that she hadn't paid for 8 months. It was so obvious that she didn't even have this accident, because what I did was I had my process servers do a search as we were doing this hearing, because I had a good 4-hour window. I had the process server go ahead and do a search to see if there was actually a statement of claim filed, which there wasn't. I had the process server send me the document. I had uploaded it to the tribunal's website. I emailed it to the adjudicator. I did everything I could. Yep. At the end of the day, the adjudicator said she was going to reserve her decision. And they always do that, because they are not allowed to make a decision on the spot if both parties are there.
Right.
Because they get audited. Sure. We all get audited. They also get audited for their decisions.
Right.
So she said, I'm going to reserve my decision. Okay. And then my landlord says, now what? Now what? And I said, now we got to wait.
Now we wait. Wow.
Now we wait 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know how long we're going to wait. And every week I emailed and I emailed and I emailed, waiting for the decision. The decision ended up coming 9 weeks later. They ended up throwing out the whole matter, because the original application that the landlord had filled out on her own was incorrect. It wasn't properly served.
No.
So that's what happened before.
So this was the N4 that they didn't serve correctly?
Right.
You're kidding
me. So everything was thrown out.
So 10 months now have gone by. 11 months.
11 months has now gone by.
No rent.
No rent. The tenant was lying. It was obvious that she was lying. Everything got thrown out because the original N4 wasn't served properly. It was filled out properly, wasn't served according to the rules.
Right, yeah.
So what happens? Cash for keys. Here's 30 grand, and she left.
Wow.
But forget about the money that she's owed.
I was just going to say, what about the rent?
No, gone. Eat it.
Wow.
And it was at that point I said, I can't do this anymore.
Yep.
If somebody calls, if a real estate agent calls me, a friend calls me, unfortunately, because the Law Society doesn't allow me to give specific legal advice,
sure.
I just do a little bit more than what they do when you call the landlord and tenant board.
Right.
I actually answer,
yep.
and I actually will say, okay, I'm going to lead you into what you should do.
Yep.
Here's the direction. Here's what you should do. Here are your options.
Right.
That's ever since that hearing, I said, I can't do this anymore. My heart can't take it.
Yeah. No, listen, I agree. I mean, we do face those. We don't get faced cash for keys, but we do get faced with the, and you kind of hit a nail on the head there, though. And it was the statement that, there's the LTB said it wasn't served correctly. Now, here's the thing. The tenant did receive the N4.
Yeah.
Okay, they know what it is. It just wasn't done in a manner that the LTB finds acceptable. And this is what I struggle with. It's sort of like, for a little while you were allowed to email them. Now you can't. Like, there's all sorts of things that keep flip-flopping back and forth, right? And I mean, I don't think half the people at the LTB know what is going on. So then you're hoping for the right person to come in and play, in the game. And if not, you're going to be at the mercy. And clearly your client and yourself were at this mercy. And that's problematic because, we keep hearing about things such as, vacancy issues, right? Then you have bad tenants taking up properties, okay, not paying landlords. So when we need more landlords because we need more properties, guess what's not going to happen? Nobody's going to be buying them anymore.
Right.
And then, of course, there's some of you that are listening to me right now and you're going, yeah, but Todd, that means prices are going to go down. No, they're not. Here's the thing. We can't build this stuff. I keep talking about this. We can't build it fast enough. It's not going to happen.